Привет, на канале Псилентия Play, и мы продолжаем сегодня Диско Элизиум. Задержался я больше, чем на полчаса сегодня, потому что там домой задержался, автобусы плохо ходили, потом там еще нужно было дома кое-что заняться, кое-что сделать. Точнее, кое-что сделать, кое-чем заняться, вот. Купил я, кстати, да, у меня также там сегодня парилка моя вейпа упала, что-то сломалась крышка, и она теперь не держится, ну, то есть она раньше, типа, магнитилась, а теперь она вот так. А еще она, наверное, вот сейчас нет. А иногда нажимаю, и она отскакивает, когда нажимаю. Вот. Поэтому, короче, зашел и купил себе новый вейп теперь. Вот такая вот бандура огромная. Правда, я крепковатую жишку купил пока что. Но зато много пара. Так, у нас сегодня будет без камеры, как обычно, Диско Элизиум, потому что я это читать все не могу, мне начинает болеть горло. Поэтому давай сейчас отключаю камеру и будем продолжать. Вот таким вот образом. Мы в прошлый раз остановились на чем? На то, что мы нашли свои документы и перебрались на другой берег сюда. И здесь надо найти мужа той бабки. Быстрое перемещение. Здесь есть быстрое перемещение. Как работает быстрое перемещение? Я не вижу, что где-то появлялась какая-то кнопочка для быстрого перемещения. А как работает быстрое перемещение? Явно не здесь. А как работает быстрое перемещение? Здесь нет кнопки быстрого перемещения. Хуй его знает. Что это такое? Ладно. Ладно.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when...
Окей. Мы через пустыню можем пробраться. Он туда не идет. Это значит, с другой стороны надо пройти. Ну так зайди. Наконец-то. Ну что это за штаны? Давай посмотрим. Хуйня. Штаны моралиста нам явно не нужны. Че так громко? Мне кажется, или нас слишком громко идет. Может сделать ее чуть потише? Ну нихуя себе, о чем мне громкость музыки так выставилась? А чё громкость музыки-то у меня стала такая? Громкость музыки я уменьшал. Теперь она так громко стала. Вот так же оно должно быть у меня. Давай вот так, пускай будет. Пускай будет вот так. Я не помню, что на музыку делал так громко. Она, мне кажется, перебивает.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with?
Ну а где мы
A fishing
находимся?
village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. A fishing village on the seashore. The sign on the street The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Давай про меч спросим.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
Ну, выглядит грозно.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
А мужчины где?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
А куда
To
отправился?
the waves. The sea
А,
took
да?
him. It was a long time ago.
Ну, раз море забрало, то тут мы бессильны.
The lieutenant shakes it.
Yeah. By himself. Inadvertently. He never respected the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and now before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss,
Алкаш.
know
Никогда
that
в
it was
жизни
4
в воду
years
пьяным
ago,
не суйся.
and
Это
I've
очень
moved on.
опасно.
There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Ну, нужно двигаться дальше.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Я не думаю, что это правильный поступок.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry. Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the...
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt on the
И
yellow
как
belly
как
of
думаешь,
the boat.
когда будет
In
готова?
time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance. White sails.
А занимаешься чем?
Like I said, fish mostly.
Hmm.
Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now, I'm tarring a little skiff.
И как на жизнь
Sometimes
хватает?
I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right
И что удалось найти?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
Mines, mines. You need mines.
Ну давай
Don't have
спросим.
any. Those get cleaned out so fast even the local bums can only stand by and watch with watery mouths. Always by strangers too. Union folk don't stand this kind of stuff around here.
You could use a hit right about now. Any hit, really. Feel that itch in your hands, the stiffness in your neck, that strange restlessness in your bones.
He's right, Bratan! You're descending and you need to climb higher! Soar on the wings of your spirit hawk! Or just do a line! Whatever, right? Not a biggie!
Так, ну я тут ищу кое-кого.
Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two
Ну,
odd
типа того.
guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
И где они?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Oh?
Я не ищу
Well,
больше
how
никого.
can I assist you then, officer?
Нет, на свидание нам не надо идти.
Apricot chewing gum scented one.
Плюс 2 восприятия, неплохо. Неплохо. Так, а что по сапогам? Плюс 1 восприятие. А у нас что? Нет, а у нас получше.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Ну давай.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan! Shows you got style!
Ну да, мы не создаем проблемы, мы их решаем.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you
А я
did.
бывал здесь?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them, he was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
А почему дурное предзнаменование?
Maybe they are afraid. Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even, I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
А где остановиться?
Stay? Most people here are trying. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Нет, вообще неплохо. Это, конечно, подальше, но это
Don't
неплохо.
make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in...
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing.
Finally, you have those lame-os of matinees off your back, Bratan. This looks like a great place to bring chicks.
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. Huh. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church.
Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara.
Так, ладно,
She
спасибо.
nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's... Now it's your turn, Mr...
Ну давай настоящий.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles.
She's got a couple of ranks herself. Honored chief and so on.
Так, ладно, до свидания. Нам некуда с тобой здесь мандить.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason. Somehow
над чем
the
смеешься?
boy stops laughing and looks at his... Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking. Just wobbling. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of.
He looks just like me.
Ну, это я и
The
сказал.
boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock.
You're bad with kids.
У тебя есть медаль?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting
Нет, ну
anything.
дети тупые. Это факт. Дети тупые.
You're stupid. Okay.
А вопрос у нас не туда. Ну ладно.
You stop mid-step and put your hand on the garage.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle! Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him.
Hey, tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole... So what's happening?
А текила?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high concept
то есть мы с ними, видимо,
reality-based
забухали недавно.
adventures?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
Так, ну законы
That's
будем
the
подчинять
spirit.
реальность.
I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now. Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's spiral land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
Так, а что за текила
It's
Sunset?
you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you remember? Aha. Do you want to know how
Да,
Tequila
хочу.
Sunset came?
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Ну, давай.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
То есть мы встречались.
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
Давай.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of the...
Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes, you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
Подать газу до отказа после поцелуя с галстуком неплохо.
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Ну, естественно.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come! So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all
Это на меня
things.
похоже, да.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your help.
We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Ну, звучит неплохо.
Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen.
Wow. That's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
А мы обсуждали расследование?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
А конкретно что-нибудь рассказывал про женщину?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard. And that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
А я еще что-нибудь поняла?
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are... In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers, whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping this.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment?
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
Что
We
делается?
are saving the world.
Please! Please don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. Whoop-de-doo. So now, I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Так, а почему тебя
It
прозвали?
depends, really. Are you willing to help me?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so...
А что тебе надо?
Booze! Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Так, а что нам лучше отдать? Нельзя посмотреть. Ну давай красного командора отдадим.
Classy.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
That's right. Getting a good run-in is important to maintaining your physical and mental health. Speaking of, when's the last time you did your laps, pork chop?
It helped, truly. With my trusty Sansarique Lycra tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan.
Понял.
I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality... I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was... Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment. I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something, and people are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I...
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office, but when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done... Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a home. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Подожди, а в чем проблема-то сломать дверь домой?
Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one by... You too, Tequila.
Я не понял, почему он не может сломать дверь домой. Как бы вызвать полицию. Вот меня, например, мы должны вскрыть ему дверь.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call her Abigail! Don't call her!
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk. He snorts and beckons you to lean in.
Don't call Abigail! Don't call Abigail! Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Don't call Abigail!
There's no use in yelling at drunks. He's barely...
The drunk man starts coughing a really disgusting...
Так, ладно, в жопу иди.
Don't call her!
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on... Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money, but only slightly. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them, until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind.
Так, ну дальше мы не идем.
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes they look identical.
Так. А что это за чучело?
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replaced a broken scooter you almost certainly broke.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a... Yes! Lammy was a...
Так,
Bye!
ладно, с тобой мы тут каши не сварим. А чего не сможет не пропать? Не прицеливается на него.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Hailostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people read.
Nice to meet you.
Гипертекст.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately. But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is...
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
У вас есть деньги.
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be what...
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once...
Hold on. What's R&D? It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed...
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development. That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet. Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombecer dans le Lind. You should read it. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already
Так, ну,
forgetting
конечно, все
about
очень
this part of the
интересно,
discussion.
но...
But of course. What else? No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here.
Очень интересно, но до свидания. Да, коробку-то выбери. А как пользоваться этим быстрым перемещением? Как пользоваться быстрым перемещением? А, вот так, да? Ладно. А до этого не видел. Ну давай поизучаем эту локацию сегодня. Будем
Someone
сегодня
has
ходить
left
здесь.
an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells. The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jacket? Me neither.
You should still take it. As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prey. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're cut. What? No. Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
Снова урон боевым духом. Точнее, как это называется. Плюс 2 энциклопедии. Минус 1 восприятие. Ну так-то получше. У меня сейчас восприятие сколько? 0. Ну, в принципе, как будто получше даже такие очки. Но мои мне больше нравятся, как выглядят.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This calm now. Carefully. Just another day.
Давай
He's
смотрим.
wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is...
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved there's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the
Но он,
hair at the
видимо,
back of his
доска
head.
сломалась, он
An
упал,
open
головой
wound,
ёбнулся об скамеечку.
sticky and cold to your touch. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's
Ну да,
exactly
я
the shape
сказал.
of the bench.
The boards screech under the weight of the T500 ceramic sabatons. It's a good thing they're so light, because it's hard to do. You see waves churning below. Something cracks. A 0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its mid-market spirits, with a slight touch of menthol.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not
True. It feels disrespectful. Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is the blackness of death. Stench. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he the entire boardwalk.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk. But that's just a lazy assumption.
At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. This is an omen, a sign from above that you need to stop drinking.
Гибель великого тусовщика.
The wedding ring. But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the
Но беремся за
Alright.
дело.
We should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. If lost, please return the card to
Но
the
это муж
library.
бабки, да?
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy.
Нет, не муж бабки. А где там муж бабки мы не нашли?
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka, and a can of black potent porter. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk.
Так а чё, куда мысли делась? Мысли не появится, ну? А, вот здесь надо подходить. Не отовсюду можно быстрое перемещение использовать.
metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. End of tone. Someone.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre? It's
Возможно.
nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died. Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sound. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you, to your relief.
Так о чем мы в библиотеку не стали звонить? Да. Это церковь, да?
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock.
I don't think that's going to work.
High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance.
There is a hole in my...
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests Junior Forever Stolzed aussi. The moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and... These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exam. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say.
If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way. Yes, the pulsing base. An indication of junior delinquency.
А почему не оторвать?
Heavy wooden doors.
Ну ладно. Почему он тогда вот так тупит и ничего не делает?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown.
It's military. A service depot of some sort. Probably something that is no longer there.
Технику надо качать, чтобы открыть дверь. Риторика +1, эмпатия -1. Не нужно. +1 трепет, -2 грубая сила. Нет, не надо. И где ее муж, который здесь должен кого-то там искать? А я сюда не заходил разве? Мне казалось, что я заходил сюда. А видимо нет.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles, yet someone used to live here. Laugh here.
In this yard? Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned a black bloc, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has fallen to gang violence. Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. Yes, for you to scavenge like a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash.
Нет,
It's
там не
not
видел деньги
meant
даже
as
валяются.
nagging. Just
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder.
inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuse. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They're also fragile. I'm not...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Вот, в библиотеку позвоните.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here.
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check out the...
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into...
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Ну давай адрес.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet. Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me.
And then goes for a little drink later, on the lookout.
Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
А
Just a
Сильви?
second. Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad.
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, "I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me."
Me neither.
There is silence on the other end.
No, please, no more suicide threat. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, "Big bucks cannot lie," and it almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
You hear the call breaking up.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
The man was about 173 centimeters tall, stout, with dark hair and a mustache.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone? I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to... That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? Right.
10-4, come in.
Ну, нашел удостоверение.
10-4, sir. Glad to hear that. I'll write down that...
Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with...
Roger that. 10-10.
Что нам надо было качать? Давай посмотрим по карте, что нам надо прокачать, чтобы что-нибудь где-нибудь открыть. Ну смотри, нам в любом случае надо качать самообладание, потому что это нужно для двух штук. Лучше так смотреть. Техника и грубая сила. Я думаю, сначала технику. Или это не то? Ну вот мы качнули технику.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still. And to think, it seemed as if you're warm in your hat and your coat. More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings. Crumbling piers, salt water lapping at them. The waters turn black. Coal city in the shadow of San Martin. A boom town. Back when coal extracted... No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain below the old mines. L'Océan Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. La Petite Ra braved the children under 14. They go underground, looking for few patira return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of the black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers
Ну,
beat
это
their
все не
sons after
особо
drinking.
интересно.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up?
Здесь же было что смотреть. Почему до этого не подсвечивалось? Куда ты идешь? Только что оттуда, точнее, наверное, сюда шел. Подожди, прям можно перейти или нет? А, можно. А, можно. Я думаю, это все тупик здесь.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. Two pot barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough. The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least...
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep...
О, у них тут нормально тусич.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure...
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to...
This is my posse.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music. We have many in the pipeline, officer. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noit's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Ну, не извиняйся, как бы,
Which
да,
brings
вместо
me to the
говно.
problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of...
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight...
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts...
Dope heads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in...
Strike that! The vote!
And sadder yet, because the dope heads and burnouts hold up in there with the...
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dope heads and burnouts really are.
Ну, я и сам своего рода.
If it was just like that, it would be fine. But they're also spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre. And also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's
Ну,
not
давай
all
посмотрим,
right, man.
сходим.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should... Of course! Noid! All right.
Ну, давай поймаем.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a ka-ching. The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing. The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's like a tequila sunset.
А да, черт возьми, текила
Of course you
Sunset.
are. It's too late to be a tequila sunrise now. There will be no...
Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still
Ну,
alive.
вполне неплохо.
Exactly. That's it. The cage of the rage! Egg means the situation is monitored. It's relatively safe. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. As always, we'll be right here.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s.
Oh.
She must be a cell. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Ну что может зажить?
What? Yeah, I heard you.
Yes. What do you mean?
You know, that sounds kinda nice.
No, it doesn't. You, if you were intending to use an unorthodox questioning technique for this branch of the investigation, which by the way is tangential at best, as it stands, I'm going to have to thwart your plan by
Oh, of course.
Odd. Something about the way she says it makes you think she's not bothered by any... She's waiting.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. Okay. Okay.
Так, ну нас мало интересует. Меня бы куда больше интересовал, конечно, пропавший муж той бабки, которой здесь почему-то нет. Я не знаю, где мне его искать. А еще я не понял, почему у нас обзор такой маленький. Ладно.
Heavy wooden doors. The lock turns easily.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church in the heart of the city. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. The lieutenant says nothing. You see behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. So this is the machine's filament memory. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar.
Good afternoon.
Это мне достанет.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez.
Saint-Brune. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine?
Anything else I can help you with? Good. Please repeat.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder.
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please... No.
Так, ну понятно, пароля все еще нет.
No. Receive votre accident. Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please.
Let's look around.
Receive votre accident. Good.
The machine's keyboard. Nothing happens.
Ну, я не думаю, что эти ботинки лучше моих. Ну да, плюс один эмпатии. Плюс один болевой порог, плюс один внутренний империи. Пока так.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of life. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps, and then it's gone. Almost all. You can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels your voice is barely audible. It's unnerving. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head.
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
И чем мы там должны увидеть?
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets close.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight. Prepare for an attack. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinite. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
А кто это?
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a stick.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place. Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the...
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. I was like you once, just dragging my feet to the next bottle.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Ну, вообще-то алкоголь составляет основу моей личности, действительно.
The grave's coming for your little identity sooner than you think, Holmes.
Это, кстати, про меня.
You sure you're ready? This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you...
Sure did, Holmes. I am, at least in part, Holmes. Until the mother's love burns away the... Haven't you ever met a Mex before? Cabrón. So, you know, I'm not so sure myself anymore. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First-timers are always nervous. Oh man, I would love to see that statue. I'm sure I'd be trespassing if the church... I done my share of illegal shit. Used to be in a gang, the whole deal. But even memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of...
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information.
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity. Your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Так, а делайте здесь
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothing. I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure. Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be. She
Что
is a
за
cavity in
религиозные
the
темки
dark,
начались как бы в
beyond
игре про
sense.
расследование
She
убийства?
saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, When's the last time you woke up from silent commute?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I can see, and it saddens me. But devotion can save you. She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes.
Or search through her radio computer.
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something. Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife.
That is true. But
what you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita. Big police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there. Might even be nice to have.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
I think we're done here, Essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure.
The machine's keyboard is the speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Good. Please, good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do? Goodbye, Fortress.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like the first entry made on the 4th of February. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new...
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making artists yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads, The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmed. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be of
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial...
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of...
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the base. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been captured. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, that disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into...
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
You won't find any answers from here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted.
What is it? Yes. Or no. Not anymore.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Так, ну и что думаете?
You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you...
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
Чё?
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried, but honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from them. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to cease.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning.
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in them either. Great. What are we talking about? And why? Great. Thanks. No? Yes. And? No. You're right. I'm not. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them. Great. The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. What? I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either that. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
А что?
Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you?
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack cradle in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from under. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet, as if under a microscope. As that bitter thought passes through your head, the lieutenant draws an good call. She left us all in the shits. Don't give her a single thing. Just stand there in the apricot-colored light. Serves her right. She only cares about her sovereign's orb and her silk robes and
Ну,
gets
вряд
into
ли,
the
конечно, мы
aerodrome
сможем.
to leave. It's a mystery. A mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. All you know is, this...
It's Dolores Day. The old woman was right. This is the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revolution. There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here.
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. Well, your station was involved, I hear. 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry in. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinet.
У нас нет ничего на визуальный анализ. Нету. Да, выйдет ты уже в дверь, ёб твою мать, стоит.
Hi again. So, how are things going? And? What happened? Oh man, the crab man you mean? Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh, interesting. No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time? I guess it's not a massive problem. Everyone is welcome. Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place. Feel the love! Get down and feel it! You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja, oder nein? Rocking it. What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity! Dance! And you can't just evict her?
Ну, вообще можно.
Hell yeah! No Noid, no hammer. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can, like, make a deal. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the lines in the dark. At least Crabman seems like an advanced bit. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Ну да, куда денется, втянется, ничего страшного. Мне узончик понравился, значит и ей понравится, всем должен нравиться.
If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you... Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye.
Рейв в любом случае лучше и бесполезного занятия. Вот только не верю, что здесь с рейвом нормально получится, если здесь место, где звук не слышно.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. Good.
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it, a glassy look in her eye.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear?
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent, like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was and the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks. Thanks.
Ну хорошо, давай сходим.
And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can...
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy.
Ну хоть один квест за сегодня сделаем. Мы, правда, не продвинулись нифига в расследовании дела. И мужа не нашли.
An old door worn by
Все равно
elements
невозможно, хотя
guards
покачал
the
технику.
depot. The wind has
Что за
blown
хуйня?
a sand dune.
А есть ли у меня какой-то шмот на технику? Тоже нет. Текс. Тебе минутку нужна, что ты хочешь?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. But it's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. In his eyes, an unfamiliar... It's hard to say. His gaze... The road continues for miles, float above the Jamrock Quarter in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl to the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland. You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. Again...
Excuse me? Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way. Waiting all the way. The aura of the seven seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly...
Ну, короче, это игра про грусть, тоску и все такое, как хуёво жить вот в таком вот сраче, гадюшнике, где они живут, где они находятся. И какие покалечены у всех судьбы.
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel... But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. And I know it wasn't easy to ask.
Так, нам надо достать из холодильника блок памяти. Вот только из какого холодильника? Так, я снова здесь. Где этот холодильник находится? И я снова здесь.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand crank. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring. It's all gone now. You'll never be. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen...
Это мне нужен инструмент.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears.
Не понял, а почему он не вскрывается?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand...
Ну вот, он в активном инвентаре.
This orange machine is buzzing like an ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool. But your fingers slip, turning the crank is all gone. What better to assuage...
Нужно качать грубую силу. А я могу прокачать грубую силу через предметы. Или не могу? Могу.
This orange machine is buzzing.
Но мне надо именно вкачать очко, тут это так не работает. Но он без фонарика не хочет ходить. Видимо, да.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework. The speaker.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. It's good. Please, good.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Thank.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule in its short time of existence. Fortress Accident SCA managed the first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Real. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Real. With a 400,000 Real? Yo. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept art, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligation. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate, a rate that could only be amended by the production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large and no amount of money could. They tried to make a 4 million Real game with 400,000. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower, and they couldn't. No, you couldn't. Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of that is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that this place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member. The world had never seen their kind before, and so many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Большое число.
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently. He's dying for a cigarette. What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop? Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end where things get fuzzy, and what is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front. When the project was returned, it was completely. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Always read the terms of service. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. That's not what her colleagues thought. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's Sandbrun 1147. That's what the street sign next to the tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Но это не то, что надо, да? Да, Нина. Что такое?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old
Ну надо
sun.
голубую силу качать, что поделать. Пошли пока. Монтировка мне больше нравится, как он ходит. Мы еще не ходили вот сюда.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look
А,
around
вот
or
здесь мы должны
something.
обменять чек.
Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra tea makes it funkier. It doesn't. You mean this?
Привет, Нина, привет. Котик пришел.
This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum, and the lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She looks up from
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know really long. I don't...
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us...
Okay.
Мина, ну мне рука нужна, я не могу так играть одной рукой.
Uh-huh.
Не, ну вот так могу одной.
Reality? You mean, what reality? I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic. I don't know. What about it?
Так, понятно, она у нас тут тупая 15-летняя... Неважно.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Да мне не то, что нужна эта стойкость, а вот спиздить можно.
The girl delves into the magazine, hair covering her face, vision obscured. She cannot see your hand move. Oh no. I said don't let it fall out with a thump.
Did you? I mean, I didn't just see a middle-aged man try to steal a 4 real raincoat, did I?
Так, не надо, мне нужен тут для расследования.
Really? A plastic punch.
The clerk stares at you, but she's like 14. You're humiliated in front of a minor. What's wrong with you, son?
I mean, it doesn't even cost that much. Like, fucking with Frit is dangerous, you know? Just leave it there. What is what? A raincoat? You know, like the one you tried to
Даже
steal
спиздить не
earlier.
можем. Да нахуя он нам покупать его не будем?
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
А, вот где мы можем сдать бутылку. Нихуя себе, Натус.
Your bottles clunk into the machine and the money
Опять
appears with a
реал.
satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Не то чтобы много, конечно. А мы так долго их
A
собирали.
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Вот это, кстати, я куплю.
Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Здесь можно покупать аптеку, хорошо.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter there, in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing river of warmth.
Sure. If you want something, I can get it for you. But I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes down.
Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Но нам пока не то чтобы нужно это было.
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
А что нам вообще надо делать? Мы с тобой беседовали уже.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more... A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Polar weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. What you're looking for is the basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the Whirling and Ride. That's all.
Okay, where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that none of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are.
Who he is. Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. And they're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like...
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighbor?
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change. The rest of us are just folks. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless your dead guy was an enemy combatant. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men.
He means a more violent faction.
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
Ну это они убили, они даже сами признались, что мы знаем с самого начала игры. Да, блядь. Ну выйди ты. Что нам дальше делать, непонятно. Пошли выполним вот этот квест, потому что мы знаем, что будем делать, это легко будет.
can I help you?
What is this thing?
Cool. Okay. I was really hoping not to think about the cock carousel any longer because I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random.
Oh, hello, dear.
Ну.
There you are again.
Но мы же ее не нашли.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
На крышу вот туда мы еще не ходили тоже. Нет, не сюда.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
А где аптечки? Как понять, у меня следующее установит 1 или установит 3? Я же там купил те, кто установит 1, и купил те, кто установит 3. Как мне понять, какая это из них? Нет, не сюда. Нет, не сюда. Впрочем, можно и вот здесь зайти. А это что?
There's no way to listen to the tape without, but even just holding the tape makes you a pawn shop. A pawn shop.
Хорошо, в ломбард сходить.
In your hands, you hold 16 days of coldest April. Indeed, the book is unusually. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small. The back cover is dominated by a black and white. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this in cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturn motor cars as ethnic tensions run wild. A pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man, he toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as the memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years as life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. Their final thoughts are...
Зачем мы читаем, непонятно. Так, нам куда? В 20-й квартире. А как мне понять, какая из них 20-я? Ой, не то. Не та дверь.
A weathered brown door. The number. Something smells good. The lieutenant motions to you to go. This is the door. You already know.
Don't knock! Just leave! You don't need this!
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nerve. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
Неужели они, судя по всему, не особо хорошо, раз там гуманитарная помощь? Кухонька без окна, это, кстати говоря, очень плохо, потому что там будет всегда жарко.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them. And he must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Дело не в
She
попугае.
just nods.
No. This is something much worse. Is he in a hospital?
Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place.
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. He has a problem with drinking. He's probably in the parks drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought. Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter. Oh, it's in Jamrock. The
Central Jamrock Public Library.
I think, yes, if that's the one on Miro, just to return a book of mine. Why?
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
I think it was, Thibault.
She folds her hands. Here it comes.
Ну, как бы рассказать.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her.
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your...
What happened to him?
Ну да, несчастный случай, провалился.
Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there. How long had he been?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
Ну, сейчас сложно
She
сказать.
blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her...
Here.
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid.
God. Should I call them? Should I...
No. A day.
Ну нет, сначала лучше сама в себя прийти, а потом уже скажешь детям, как бы, когда сможешь адекватно это сказать.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to Is there anything else that the RCN...
No, I'll call you if something comes up. Thank you. Thank you for telling me.
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon.
We should step outside and talk. You did well.
О чем мы могли? Мы не могли больше ничего сделать.
I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Let's go.
Так, что еще можем за сегодня успеть сделать? Во дворе за теплицей квартир. Пошли вскроем. Да куда ты идешь?
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old. No, we are not constructors and renovators. And these bullet holes do not warrant...
The lieutenant nodded. This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a line. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattle. Finally, the door unlocks. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully. Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go inside. Good job. Let's go now. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. As you hold the open door, you can feel the...
Нет, я все-таки предлагаю сохраниться и зайти туда.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst a little ring. Though cheerful, the images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. This person is... The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Так, чем там подобрали? +1 к логике. Но это получше, чем вот это. А, нет, верно.
row of mugs sit.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some...
Так, ладно, нас не спалили, хорошо. Что еще мы можем сделать? Кто такой Рене? Я не помню, кто такой Рене. А, я понял, кто такой Рене.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you. Make the faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusion.
Where? There? Those are old. Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during... Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it.
Officer!
Будку.
God damn it. Pull yourself to... Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter. Nothing to...
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance.
I'm fine, goddammit! Mind you... No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard.
No one has been guarding the container yard?
Yes! It's...
Look, officer, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire...
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Ну, вообще, нет, программа такая не нужна. Но зависимость здесь представляет
It's
человека.
not charity. Not to me. Up there, I give it all I got. I earn my keep. But you're right, officer. Yes, like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp. Ah, yes! King Philip III!
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant.
A superpower, feared and respected. Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such mad.
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The Carabinier doesn't reply. No one and nothing can change this man's mind.
Right.
Still,
everything else I can assist you with, unfortunately, in markup, if I knew.
This is a man with a lot of past, but little...
Yes. I do.
Heavy.
Why what? Because gummies. Sadly, should have fought
Как мне про
dirty,
фото спросить?
like they did with this. This place is it. Yes.
He finds your
Mountainous was used as one of the 3 footholds. This here is
Blood ground. You got all...
damn right.
He approved.
The rest of this.
Well,
Да, отстань, мы
You
все
don't
уже
even
читали.
begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone this. I'm just so I would.
This royal.
Instead, this is just what the commies wanted. This was the plan all along. This was
Soon.
It's no use talking to you. Yes, I'm an old.
He feels like he has to justify himself.
Yes. Like I said.
Не понял. Я продал, что ли, фотографию? Я продал фотографию, видимо. Чуть позже этим займемся, это не так важно.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside.
Из шмоток у меня ничего нет на восприятие. +1 восприятие.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their... His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips, like a rubber spider, your gloved hand. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base. You're on the right track. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened.
Keep going.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet. The lieutenant answers with the sound of your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but all the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Но я не думаю, что стоит уродовать.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Ice-cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and the pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
Can you get to it?
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
То есть он умер от чего-то еще?
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
Good, good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers...
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood.
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course, you deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Похоже на правду.
Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Странгуляционная борозда, раздробленная предъязычная кость, все это было
Yes,
манипуляция.
and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was... I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here. As we did.
We almost fell for it, he thinks.
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more...
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Спасибо.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away ice cream make detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case.
Ну
but
давай,
it
да,
might be more
отвози.
difficult.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands. I'll...
Так, чем нам пока можно заняться? В ванну потом сходим. Можем сходить фотографию выкупить.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in...
Hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just... I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a fan. But I do think that Yomdalaman... Most people don't think that the man from Yomdal really existed.
Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have...
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What is he talking about?
2 real. But why?
Ну, потому что да.
I suppose that makes sense, yes. Please go ahead and...
Неплохо. Неплохо договорились. Как раз грубую силу нам накачивает.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber Harman Welsh,
is the Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play in it.
The porter reel is just what you needed. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before this. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hall, telling you about the tiniest church in Sessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost, within seconds, you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself. Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've...
Неплохо надо будет сделать.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Она нам, может быть, пригодится.
Another time, perhaps. Of course. It's in working order. I doubt it, but I...
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
А чего нельзя у него выкупить назад? Тут нечестно. Ну так нечестно. Сообщить Мореллу, если его встречу. Так, сейчас ходим, поговорим с Джойс, потому что это должно быть не так сложно, и квест сразу выполнится. Я так думаю. А после этого надо пойти обыскать забегаловку, в которой мы живем.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? You have.
Finally, time to choose sides.
Of course. He must have his practical uses. He could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, of course. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a verb. How could I stop you? Are we not human?
Tell her, she'll...
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Oh. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun? Ah, yes. As you said, your gun. Yes.
He seems to be in some sort of loop. Well, that's not good.
What is happening?
No, it's not that. Its executive function is completely shot. I keep pushing back.
Sweetheart, please stop repeating that now.
This is going to be hard to recover from.
Please. Yes, Miss...
The woman scans her surroundings. Fear seeps into you as your skin crawls.
Mr. Eva.
Do you want...
Things were going so well. You think we should turn him off?
Officer?
Yeah. We need to pull them. Are you not afraid? Okay, I'm gonna do it. Hold...
Detective! Is everything all right in there? I'm not sure exactly, but you seem to be caught in some sort of loop. Never mind the details. We've wasted enough time as it is. Now, please ask me something else before it happens again. Something that, preferably, doesn't include the words Mr. or Everard.
Сделать борщ еще
Did
горячее.
you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already? Very curious. What else? Of course, Detective. Should something come... Until then, is there anything I... By love, you did.
Fast, observantly.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day.
Надо
Go ahead,
концептуализацию
ask me
качнуть, да?
anything. Glad to have been of assistance.
А если я шмот одену на концептуализацию?
You're back. Good. What, more lessons in basic reality?
Да почему
My
невозможно?
favorite part
Вообще,
of
как
the
будто
day.
вообще
Go
статьи никак
ahead,
не влияют
ask me
от
anything.
шмоток.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Ясно, концептуализацию только качать через навыки. То, что я шмотки одеваю, это абсолютно поебать. Мне, кстати, не нужно больше восприятия. Я что-то еще одевал ради восприятия. Чем дают, кстати, мои штаны? Эквилибристику, грубо силу, не помню. Просто музыку. А я думаю, он легко выполняется. Может быть, споем? И что? Что там есть?
Hey, was there...
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird.
No, you don't. It's not happening. The Whirling's not a charity or a musical therapy clinic. It's a commercial establishment. By causing more trouble, I think we're good. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got...
А не беда, да, у меня все есть.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt. Still, this is the look of a man who's defeated.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage. The stage is all set up for your performance. You feel a little dizzy.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know.
Нам нужна драма.
Karaoke carousel.
The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you. You're sweating. They are going to hate you. Just make sure you move, okay? Don't immediately. A loud feedback noise startles the room. Hands. Where do you put your hands? The bar is yours. They are going. Just make sure you move, okay?
Нам нужна драма. И у нас нет, конечно же, шмоток на драму. Есть. Какой пиздец. Какой пиздец.
The stage is... You feel it?
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Ну, шанс не такой уж большой, давай попытаемся.
The air is thick. When someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-Saëns, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Так.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Ну давай вот так вот ответим.
The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable manner. Someone coughs.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words.
Нам дали очко, кстати говоря, мы тратим его на грубую силу. Переодеваемся обязательно. Как-то так идем.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalsund multi-tool. And inside, on a frosty platform, lies an object, intricate and foreign. Left there, disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding. Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament?
Я думаю, что стоит осмотреть.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the key, the speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine.
Good evening, sir. Please repeat. Is this
А,
the
нет,
Earth
там это
Tiles on the
самое...
cube
Помеха
are-
все еще есть, мы сейчас просто сломаем внешнюю копию. И она тоже утратится. Нет, 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 так мы не будем делать. Так мы делать не будем. Как квесты прям один за другим делаются.
Yes, what is it? Yes? No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it. The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse, whatever that means. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez. Once I came in one morning, thanks.
Да, конечно, я положил это вовнутрь в компьютер и забыл забрать. И надо будет заканчивать.
Tiles on the cube are the filament slides out.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait, no. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
No, it's not dangerous. Just depressing. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout.
Here, I found it. Hold on. Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
И где?
There, in the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to...
You like moving things around.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bolt 2 centimeters to the left,
Третью чашу на
and
2
the fourth
сантиметра
bolt 5
влево,
centimeters to the
а
right.
четвертую на
This should
5
do the
сантиметров вправо. Третья 2 влево, четвертая 5 вправо.
Thanks.
Третья 2 влево, четвертая 5 вправо. Какая из них третья, какая четвертая? Чё, ёбнулась, что ли?
It's awfully silent again, as if some measurements have been marked down around the bowls. Each chalk drawn. Oh boy, this is going to be good.
Ну вот третья на 2 сантиметра влево.
It moves like a ghost, without creating a single trace of sound. Some water spills out of the bowl. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumb. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, let's do it. Now the only thing left to do is, if we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be... I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that does... What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
And then, nothing happens. As Sona, Loken killed, you can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. She doesn't answer. Her eyes closed and brows knitted.
Damn it! No, of course not. Nothing happened.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard, but this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it?
Хотя нет, подожди. Восприятие.
Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man, and then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of...
You mean the speed freaks?
Ну да.
Of course! The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound. I guess I could live through a week or two of...
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As a...
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks.
Так, ну надо переодеться нормально теперь. Это лучше. Вроде так бы лезет. Мне кажется, у него мысли возникают позднее, чем мы что-то делаем.
Come on, get in. Hi again. So, how things going? Yes. What?
He nods, enthusiastic.
Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of anodic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. We appreciate it. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe.
Yes, what is it?
What? What did you say? I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
Oh, the project! It's not going well. There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. Egghead!
Почему
He
сама?
doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and yekokata! Thanks! Let me know how it goes!
Длинный квест. Я думал, лучше закончим.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair stands behind a mixer deck, nodding along to the music as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous
Hardcore! It's hardcore!
Вообще-то нет.
Skibber-D, Skibber-Danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths? The young man.
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be! It's the message, so listen and you will see.
Что за хуйню несет?
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore to internally coherent. All core, all right!
He furrows his.
Hardcore! Ah! The question is, what is the question? But there was no question. The cloud, true, hardcore! Yeah! Spinning out lyric and the matter.
Ой, это, блядь.
True, hardcore! Hardcore to the. Here comes the. The true, hardcore, internally coherent. All core, all right! Gotta get the people going! I'm the party boy, it's my job. Hardcore part.
А это вообще реально?
Hardcore to internally all core, all right!
He furrowed.
Hardcore! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, there is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gisli. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything.
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary.
3,5, вот он, давай втыкай его.
She uses 3.5. Yeah.
Oh God, you're going to be.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on. This is a 4.5. We're all good, people.
Whoa, thank God. That.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get.
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just. The Arno will be back! But we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell us that Egghead.
Так, в жопу иди. Давайте уже квест этот заканчивать надо.
Yes, what is it? Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit?
Maximum! Maximum is.
I know it is, but could you please turn it down?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it!
Glue style? Okay, they're literally.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
А зачем добавлять?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon.
Content down to hardcore!
Of course it is.
Yeah!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speaker.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you are, Detective.
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. There's tightness in your chest.
Да, готов, давай.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly it builds until it's out there now, in the world. It will devour every floorboards, the glass, the streets and people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on? It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
in his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire. He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance!
No, Egg! It's the window! The window is going to come down! No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run.
Come down to us!
Below it, all the bass grows.
Они сейчас
Like the
церковь ебнут,
jaws
да?
of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and
That's it. I'm muting it.
Beautiful car!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass, and then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were...
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was
Ah,
dope.
я
I
что
think
это
we
не
can use
понимаю.
it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's
Ничего
what
не
it was
понимаю.
technically. I have no idea.
Я
I've
тоже.
never even...
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after.
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency. Stay here! I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Sulispov. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you. You just
Ну, логики нам сейчас не хватит, а переодеться нам не дадут. Или дадут. Подожди, можно переодеться, есть ничего на логику? Есть ли у нас что-то на логику? Логика. Ну, допустим, очки. Шляпа. И все.
Yes, what is it?
Ну, шансы больше не стали.
All you hear is silence in your head.
Я, кстати, мог у кого-то спросить про серость. Ну ладно. Давай просто переоденемся, в чем были. В смысле, эти очки дают минус к логике? И тогда вот эти очки получше получаются. И давай на этом на сегодня заканчиваем. Всем спасибо, подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, ставьте комментарии, жмите на колокольчики, подписывайтесь на социальные сети. До скорых встреч. Всем пока.